Welcome everybody. In this show I'm going to present to you how to make a Christmas ornament from your scrapbooking supplies. And what you need for this project is first you need a strip of paper. I cut this paper into 4-inch, that's about 10 centimeters. It's best if you use pattern paper that's double-sided, but because mine wasn't double-sided and I really loved this pattern, I just colored the back with glimmer mist. Then what else you need is a paper trimmer, so you can cut papers into strips. And then you need piercing device. I have a paper piercer and a corkboard where I can do my piercing. Of course, if you have a crocodile, you can use your crocodile. And what else you need is 2 brads. And let me show you before we start, which is the final product. This is my Christmas ornament that I'm going to put on my tree this year. And now let's get started. First you need your paper trimmer and our piece of paper, and let's start cutting. What we need to do is to cut our paper into strips of paper, a minimum of 1 centimeter. I'd never measure for this, so I just do it by eye. Try not to make it too small, too narrow, because if you make it too narrow then we won't be able to put a hole into it. So just cut a few strips. I have one here and another one. And it's a little bit more interesting if you don't have all of them at the same width. Okay, I already have a few strips of paper cut for you. So let me show you our next step. This is my strips. What I do is first take pieces of paper and align them at the back end here. Yeah? Okay, now that you align all of the piece of paper at the one end, you take your piercing device and you make a hole. So try not to make the hole too close to the margin. I don't know if you can see this, but try to make it a little bit in the middle. So now I'm making my hole. And here we go. I have here my hole. Yeah. And I'm putting my brad into it. Okay, and open the little legs. So now we have one brad through one end of the papers. Now take the other end. Make sure again that they're aligned. And also make sure that the paper is straight when you do the hole. And again, another hole. So now what we have is one strip of paper with 2 brads at the end. And now what you do is try to curve it a little bit, and don't worry if it's like this, because it will settle once you start doing it. What you do is you take your piece of paper and you start moving them and try to create a circle. And you move them, and you move each and every one of them. This is the part that takes longer. Just try to make sure you don't pull too much, because if you have thin paper it might break. So pull it gently. You see, we're already starting to have a hole. And pull it again. And woohoo! What else you can do is you can ink the margins of your paper, but I prefer not to do that with this project, to have a continuous pattern and a separate one. And okay, now you keep on arranging them, and eventually the final product will be like this. What you have to notice is that if you put more paper, then the holes here are smaller. If you put less paper, then your holes will be lesser. What I like to do is when I'm making a circle and when I'm making like a little ball, then I put more paper. Then what I can do, I just put a thread here and hang it in my tree. But then if I have smaller, less paper like in this one, what I like to do is just glue it together in the middle where the brands are, and then I have a little star. This is what I will be hanging in my Christmas tree this year. I hope you enjoyed this show. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.